This is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We're here on Xbox Series S looking at this insanely massive and large-scale Assassin's Creed offering. So like with all the Assassin's Creed games, you can basically play them by themselves, kind of standalone adventures. If you're into the mythology of this particular era, it is definitely going to be something that is quite cool for you, and something that offers basically unlimited gameplay. You could spend hundreds and hundreds of hours playing this, literally, from the main game content to like some post-game content that they added DLC-wise. This game is insanely massive. Like, it is just really big. And it's got that combination of not only regular Assassin's Creed gameplay movement, but also a sense of sea battles for those that love the sea combat of Assassin's Creed. This game has you handled and covered, and it basically gives you, again, the best of both scenarios in regards to, kind of playing regular game land combat and also doing stuff on the sea. So what are we getting here on the Series S? We actually get a bumped up resolution, which was a bit of a surprise with the optimization. So what we're getting here is, well, 1080p at 60 FPS with HDR support. And yeah, it does look, much, much better than it ever did in the past. It is, fantastic. It's fluid. It is the entirety of the Assassin's Creed experience, and it is nice and optimized. Initially there was like an FPS boost, and then afterwards they gave us this huge improvement over the game, which is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, Odyssey is definitely one that I think a lot of people really, really love. It's so big, it's insane, and it's crazy. And you get to play, there's like two perspectives you can kind of play as. There's the male, the female. A lot of people mention that playing as the female character seems to be a bit better of a story perspective. I did give a little bit of a whirl for that on the PS5 version, so I can say, yeah, the female character, pretty well acted, pretty well performed. So I think that might be something that you could look into, kind of being like, oh, which character should you play as? Same character, basically the same story, just some things get adjusted. And you just kind of make your choice on which one you want to play as. So this is the modern Creed. It follows, well, basically Origins, in regards to being more of an RPG type of experience, very big open world, lots of freedom, lots of scale to it, and it's got this really neat sort of visual aesthetic to it. But also at the same time, it can feel a little visually kind of bland, since it's very large, very, very open, and the visuals are kind of a little bit consistent across the land-based like terrain and whatnot. So ancient Greece awaits. You become a legendary hero with tons of different weapons and equipment that you collect. There are huge epic 150v 150 soldier battles that you can enjoy, and there's kind of like this, I want to say, neat sort of mix-up between kind of how your character interacts with the individuals that are present within this world. I think that's really quite neat. So you're basically kind of going in between this like battle of these two factions, which is just absolutely fascinating. The map is just like freaking ridiculously large, tons of quests, inventory with different abilities, you customize your ship. Like, the game is, again, crazy large. Like, it is ridiculously big. And you can explore it whether you are sort of running around, again, going on your ship, you could go on your, you could just use a lot of different ways to kind of get around. There's fast traveling too, if you'd like to. And there's also your majestic horse, which is such a good pal. Oh, I don't really want to start a fight over here, but you can see you get a wide range of different weapons and tools. There's my horse. I was wondering where you are. But yeah, you can kind of just set it to like follow the road and everything, which is kind of cool. There's no roads to follow? Oh, come on. I wanted to just be able to talk about things while my horse did stuff. But now you can enjoy it at the higher frame rate, which is fantastic. It really does help make this world come alive, and it's, it's kind of packed with details and historically accurate, like, designs and everything in regards to the different, like, civilians living their lives, the different outposts. It offers a lot in this mix between Sparta and Athens battling one another, these factions. So you're kind of, like I said, you're basically thrown into the mix of it, and you're kind of semi making choices that sort of impact who you're interacting with. There's like legendary beasts too. There's lots of different activities for you to embark on, and it's a game that feels literally quite endless at times. It really is big, and they added so much content to this one. It's just like, it's kind of crazy. I'm trying to think if there's like a scenario that I can do that's like a battle. I'm trying to think if there's like a position I need to take or something. Yeah, let's go do the Snake Temple. That sounds like a good one as any. So yeah, on the Series S, it does actually look decent. I mean, obviously, I'm used to the Series X version, so, you know, there is a resolution decrease. You notice, at least for me, a little bit more pop-in on some things. But, you know, it still looks fine. All the geometry is the exact same. The environment is all here. The gameplay, you know, is perfectly, basically presented here, and I think it looks, you know, quite good, decently. Like, you know, there's a lot of density in, like, the flora. The trees, quite a bit lower res on some of the trees, and, you know, again, some of the textures loading a little bit slower and whatever, but, you know, it still is a pretty good looking game. I mean, this is, like I've mentioned, absolutely endless. Like, you can go to all these different places and do all these crazy quests. You make like a legendary like hero of the land, and, you know, your choices are impacting things around you, and it's just crazy. Like, it's a big, huge single player game that you can waste away hours on and just do all kinds of crazy like, you never know what you're gonna end up doing. Oh, I guess this is actually like a bit of a... Oh yeah, okay, this is an enemy encampment. I guess we could do this. Whoa! Was not expecting that. So yeah, you could be an assassin, but this is, of course, like I mentioned, a little bit more of the modern Creed, where there is a focus on, you know, kind of these abilities that you do and these different attacks, and, you know, the gameplay is traditional, but it's also, like I mentioned, much more of a different style if you're used to, like, the first however many dozen of Assassin's Creed games. This one is, you know, taking that formula and just evolving on it in many exciting ways. I actually really like this new style of Creed, and I think they've done a fantastic job, again, taking that original sort of idea of, like, you know, stealth movement, exploration, climbing, and just adding a fun new twist to it that really does evolve things. See, as we escape here, and you just get to customize your character and do all kinds of crazy things. It really is just quite fun. I think is the biggest thing, is you can have a great time on this one and just consistently, thought that fire would do more damage to that guy, be surprised at the different challenges and ways that you get to combat and fight others. It really is a different type of combat. And I loved kind of getting people at the top of stairs, and then, like, I guess you would say kicking them down the stairs is like a great combative move. And there's like huge quantities of enemies that you can kind of, you know, sort of come across, if that makes sense. Like, you just sort of battle in these much larger scenarios, which are kind of neat. Oh, they're coming at me with the shield. What? Why are you running away? And there are, of course, legendary figures, and then there's like this end game that has this really neat... Why are they all the way over there? Is that like the reinforcements? It's like this nemesis system. So if you've played, like, I guess you would say like Shadow of War or something like that, you could basically do this like Battle of the Snakes type thing that is really long lasting as you try to move up this chain, eliminating these people. I did feel like the end game was a little bloated, but, you know, past that, they've got all the story content that just kind of goes on and on and on. And if, you know, again, going back to performance, though, this feels fantastic on here on the Series S. Having the 60 FPS is just really great. It really adds a whole new dimension of gameplay, and it seems to all just be, you know, handling quite well with that, and I think that's fantastic. This little thing is delivering like it does. It's really quite cool to me. Oh, jeez, okay. Thought I was gonna make that. Nope. And then there's Ubisoft Club rewards too, so you can get some cool, like, legacy type things. I think that's how you kind of get your hands on those ones if you want some more, like, you know, old school legacy type options. I think that's kind of neat. But yeah, it's just like a very, like, it's so big. Like, you see how far you can kind of go, and everything's like all detailed. And see, to me, that's really quite impressive. Just what they were able to achieve in this one. I wanted to do the assassination stab. This guy's a bit of a pain. I think if I draw him up here, I can kick him down. Just trying to show off like a bunch of the combat and stuff and get things like frantic, if that makes sense. So, you know, be like, oh, look at all this like combat stuff, and you know what I'm talking about. I mean, if you've played this game, you're probably like, oh yeah, I know everything, and it makes sense. I mean, like I said, I've had so many people like comment on other Odyssey videos just being like, I've got like hundreds of hours, and it's like, yeah, it's definitely something you can go nuts with if you want to. And that's Creed for you in the modern era, right? It's just like almost unlimited gameplay. Which will be either something you like or something you perhaps don't like. That's really quite up to you, of course. But if you like the modern Creed RPG type of setup, you know, this one is just a bountiful amount of it. And there's lots of stylish abilities and like combo setups you can create in regards to, you know, your soldier and how they fight. And of course it's got like a heavy mythology element that like melds real characters, like real world individuals, with like game created moments and stuff, and I think that's very, very well handled. Oh geez, ooh, this is not good. Climb away. As you use stealth and attacks to try to survive. I just find like there's always so many like characters you gotta deal with in this one, like enemies and stuff, especially when you go to these fort scenarios. I mean, it makes sense. Like, look at that, just like the quantity of them all, and it's just like fluidly running, which is kind of fantastic, right? That's what you want. Hello there. Bet you didn't see that coming. And there's lots of stat stuff too in this one. Like, seriously, and there's like an aggression meter and everything, and yeah, there's a lot of detail in this one. It really felt like they were constantly releasing stuff for it in regards to like new additions, new content for you to explore. And while we've kind of shifted over entirely to like land-based battling here, like I said earlier, you literally can do like almost endless amounts of like just sea-based things too. If you like that part of Creed, this game allows you to do that. They got their shanties, they got their entertainment going on. They're a very merry group, that's for sure. Oh, this is... I want to do this. I'm surprised that guy lived. You think he would have died on the kick there? Oh, he didn't fall off? Aww. That sucks. I'm trying to like hit that thingy there. Oh, there's no fire on that one. Come up here to battle me. I always feel like I'm kind of like under-leveled in these scenarios though. Gotta use a lot of kind of running, hiding, stealth stuff. You know how it is. It's not easy being an assassin, where it's more combative based than, you know, necessarily using traditional Creed aesthetic styles. It is neat though, because you get like so many different weapon tools that you can use, and you get so many different types of like equipment that you collect and gather, and then you're constantly getting new things as you progress, and that part of it's quite neat. I think they've definitely done a great job evolving the franchise and keeping it going, because I mean, you've got like, you know, again, Origins kind of leads into this one to a degree. That's where they did the big revamp. Then you've got like Valhalla afterwards, so there's a lot here. It's just like, it would be really great if all the Creeds could be running this like fluid and fantastic. I would definitely love that, because it just feels way better to play, and it looks better too, right? Over if you're coming from like, I guess you would say the one or something like that, you know, having the resolution improvement too with the Series S is a great thing as well. Nice little upgraded feature there that does make things look sharper. It's not like, you know, the highest res, but for the Series S, it's really good that it's able to deliver you know, that sort of quality to it. I think that's really nice here, because it did look, you know, you played this on a base Xbox One at some point, it did look a bit rough there. So I think this does help quite a bit with it. So it is nice that they took time to optimize this to the degree that they did. I mean, it's not crazily reworked or anything, but it is the nice touch-up that just makes it that much better and more fulfilling to play on this new console. And even if it's not the X, it is nice that, you know, you can come here on the Series S and get a really comparable, solid experience. And that's the controller going. Yeah, are they fighting each other? Kind of helps. Let's go ahead and confirm this kill. Oh yeah, they're going at it. That's interesting. I don't know if I really want to interfere with this. You don't like the poison, huh? Just causing some issues for you guys at the fort. Ooh, that's rough. Did I get the other guy too? There he goes. Macarius, the sacrificial, is dead. Mercenaries have died. I have triumphed with my creed once again. Yeah, we definitely did a good job at killing all these guys. And the environments are, like, you know, somewhat dynamic too. You get some, like, rain and stuff. Kinda neat. I think I kinda wanna go over there and take out that yellow-crowned individual. You know what I'm talking about? That might be fun. That's the fun thing too, climbing. I mean, the verticality isn't as present as it was in previous creeds. I mean, there's a lot of places you can climb and do stuff, but, you know, there is a lot more flat land. That's how they give you a lot more of the scale. But that doesn't mean you don't get a lot of spots where you can actually go up on different places. It's just, again, the modern aesthetic of Creed. This is the direction they've kind of gone with it. But I think it's, you know, decently faithful to what came before. Climb! Why aren't you climbing? Ah, crap. Bet you didn't like that kick, did you? This guy's chunky and big. Oh, looks like he's angry. Oh, and it can have absolutely brutal combative scenarios, which I think is fantastic. They're being like stealth assassinate this guy. Didn't see that coming, did ya? It's like we're almost clearing out the town, but that's how you can play this game in different ways. Like, again, the stealth mechanics are there. Where are you gonna alert? I've like killed almost everyone. Breathtaking.
This is just business.
The lucky drunk. That's funny. I just, like, didn't the reinforcements already come prior? Ah, this guy's an inconvenience. I thought I'd killed everybody. Oh, the lucky drunk is almost saving the day. Anyways, that's Odyssey.